Sharkie Gamer here. So today we're taking a look at a Kid Station gaming controller bundle. Now this particular bundle is made by Banpresto and was only released in Japan for the PlayStation 1. Now the name of the game included in this set, and I hope I pronounce this right, but I probably won't since it is a Japanese name. The name is Kid Station Oshaberi Oekaki Soreike Anpanman. And like I said, I probably didn't pronounce that right, but that is the Japanese title for this game. And of course, you can see from the box there, this comes with a special controller. And the controller is basically like a drawing tablet or drawing board controller. So let's take a closer look at the box. So first up, you've got the Kid Station logo just up the top, and of course, moving down, you've got some artwork from the actual game itself. And on the opposite side, it kind of shows you the drawing tablet in use by a couple of kids, and then a close-up of the drawing tablet itself. On the sides there, it kind of just points out what is included, so it shows the game, the overlays, and the drawing tablet itself. And that's the same on all the sides. Turning over onto the back, you got some more details here about the game, of course, all in Japanese. Over the side, it sort of points out some of the features of the actual drawing tablet, and over the side, it points out some features of the game. And it also shows some screenshots there of the different mini games included. Alright, so let's take a look at the contents. So I'm just going to pull everything out and then we'll take a look at things one by one. Okay, so first up, we've got the game here. So this game basically focuses on drawing as well as music. That's the disc. And you've got the standard stuff. Other than that, you've got the warranty and of course the manual that sort of goes through the features of the actual game. You can use a standard controller, but of course you can use that drawing board controller, which is a lot better. It shows you the menu structure, how to use the different tools, different mini games. It's got a lot of different stuff here that it kind of explains. And there is also an advert here of other Kid Station games, and there's quite a few, as you can see from this little flyer. Quite a few different Kid Station games. On the opposite side, it's kind of advertising the tablet and also some other games that support the tablet. So that's the game. Now onto the tablet itself. So first up, you've got the standard grey PlayStation plug there, and it's got a decent length of cable. And then the tablet itself, and you can see straight away it looks like a drawing tablet. There's no question, it's designed like a drawing tablet. It's got a grid in the center here, and it's got a nice big kind of flat area here where of course you do your drawing. On this side, you've got the PlayStation, Kid Station, and Banpresto logos. And on the top here, you've got this large handle, so you can actually carry it. I'm assuming that's ideal for kids in that, when they could carry it to friends' places, etc. Now on this side is where your pen is attached. Just there, so it's a large red pen, and it's cabled, so it's actually attached to the tablet itself. And the easiest way to pull it out is to just pull the top bit of the cable here, and it pulls out. And I'll do a close up of this pen. As you can see, it's got a bit of grip there where you can hold it, and the nib itself is just a yellow nib, and I'll see if I can get this a bit more in focus for you. But the nib actually clicks down. I'll put it close to the microphone. So you can hear that the nib actually clicks down. And of course, when you're not using the pen itself, you just clip it back into that little section just there. Now over the other side here, you've got the function buttons. You've got X, circle, triangle, and square. And these function exactly like your standard kind of PlayStation gamepad. So that is what the front of the tablet looks like. Moving on to the back of the tablet. First off, you can see that it's got this kind of stand here, so when you have it on a surface, it's a bit raised, it's not completely flat. So when it's on a surface, it is slightly raised up, so it's the perfect kind of drawing angle. Secondly, you've got a little compartment here, and in this compartment there are actually two overlays. Now these two overlays that come with this particular game, and pretty much each game that comes with overlays that support this tablet, each overlay kind of supports a certain kind of mini game in that particular game. So for instance, this game focuses on drawing as well as music. So you've got one overlay for drawing and one for music. So you kind of mix and match between them, and depending on what game you might have different overlays. So the overlays just go on top. You've got these little red bits at the top there, you just line it up, slip it on. That's what it looks like. And the same with the other one, and you just line it on top. And it's really just meant as a guide. Like you've got the grid on there obviously, but if you've got something like this on in game, you're coloring, you use your pen, you kind of know exactly where to put the pen to select certain things, like you know to press that, or the colors, or this is your drawing area. So it just kind of helps you guide you to where you can actually put the pen and where to easily navigate. So it's just basically ease of use. And like I mentioned before, each game actually comes with their own sets of overlays. So this particular one has two, and I'll just put this back. But each game you get that supports this actual tablet has multiple overlays. And I've actually got another game here that has different overlays, and I'll just show you that one. So the other game I've got is this one. And the name of this game, and like I said before, I probably won't pronounce this right because it's a Japanese name, but the name of this is Kid Station Oshaberi Oekaki Kinskansha Thomas no to Nakama-tachi. And I probably brutalized that pronunciation, but that's the name of this game. It's basically a Thomas game that includes, of course, support for this drawing tablet, as you can see by that logo. And this actually comes with overlays, as advertised just there. You can see it shows the game, as well as two overlays. That's the side. That's the back. Again, it kind of shows you some features. So opening this game up and taking a look at this one. First up, you've got the game disc itself. You open that up, and of course you've got all the little bits and paperwork in here. Again, it advertises all the different games in the tablet. It's got the manual itself as well. You got warranty card again, and then of course you've got the disc. Now this particular game, sort of like that, focuses in certain areas. This one has drawing as well, but it also has like word searching, like find words and stuff like that. So it's got a bit of different functions to it. In the bottom here, you've got two overlays, just like you had before on the other one. If we just open this up. So you got one, of course, and this is more focused again for drawing. Even though it doesn't really have the colors, it's more of like a drawing one, or universal type one. And then of course you've got one that's more like a word find, where you can circle things and so forth, or select things in the game itself. So it just helps you, give you that kind of guide to where to put the actual pen. I'll just move this stuff out of the way, and I'll show you exactly what it looks like on the actual tablet. So this one, it just slips on like that again, and that's what the tablet looks like. And that one slips on like that, and that's what that one looks like. So again, with the pen, you know, you just use it as a guide to sort of use it to know exactly where to actually put the pen. So the overlays are purely just guides. You don't have to have them, but they can help playing certain games. So I'll move those ones out of the way for now. Okay, so the overlays work as just an easy way to do it, and each particular game focuses on different points, and there are quite a few different kit stations that actually support the game overlays. So they come with those two sheets. But how does the tablet itself work? Well, when you're using it with a game, you kind of just pull your pen out. You would put your pen on the surface and apply pressure. Now, you're not applying pressure enough where it clicks, like that. That's too much because it's actually clicking. You're applying enough pressure that the game picks up that you're actually on the tablet, and you can actually move your cursor or hand or whatever's on screen across, similar to a mouse. So it's very similar to a mouse to navigate menus and screens. You just kind of move it over the tablet with just that little bit of pressure, not enough to click it, but just enough to kind of move your cursor around the screen. And then to draw in the game or to activate something like a button or function, then that's when you click the pen more down and it clicks. And that of course activates whatever you're pressing on. And it's kind of a fine line between finding that pressure where it doesn't click and actually picks it up to where it actually clicks. So there's two different types of pressures, and it does take a little bit of practice to get the exact one that you need to move around versus when you're actually clicking something. So that is something that you have to get used to. So before I continue, let's take a look at this thing in action with some gameplay with this particular Kid Station game. So let's go take a look at that in the game now.
違うみたいだよ。
ああ、もっと優しく塗って。ああ、もっと優しく塗って。はみ出てるよ。
消しゴムだよ。どこをその色はここを塗るのに使うんだよ。
うん、いい調子だよ。くすぐったいよ。うん、いい調子だよ。
その色はここを塗るのに使うんだよ。
くすぐったいよ。うん、いい調子だよ。
その色はここを塗るのに使うんだよ。その色はここを塗るのに使うんだよ。
その色は違うみたいだよ。
くすぐったいよ。
その色はここを塗るのに使うんだよ。その色はここを塗るのに使うんだよ。
くすぐったいよ。はみ出てるよ。
その色はここを塗るのに使うんだよ。
その色は違うみたいだよ。その色は違うみたいだよ。
うん、いい調子だよ。
その色はここを塗るのに使うんだよ。完成！すっごくかわいいね。赤だね。青だね。緑だね。黄色だね。
So that was some gameplay with the game included in this set. So as you can see from that, I only kind of showed a couple of the mini games. The first couple were of course drawing type games where you get to colour in things, as well as like a free drawing that actually allows you to draw whatever you want. And of course the last one I showed you was a bit of music. But there are many more mini games that cover both the drawing and the music, but there's just quite a few mini games, too much to show in this review. But now that you've seen some gameplay, how does this thing actually perform? Well, it really does not perform that well, but considering how old this is, and that is a drawing tablet for the PlayStation 1, it does quite a decent job. It is very hard to colour in those kind of mini games where you're colouring. As you can see, I was doing this, and I was kind of moving it slowly across. It's very hard to colour, and the main reason it's hard, because when you're doing this, it kind of feels really jittery in the game, and it's not very accurate. So you could be moving it like this and you think, okay, I'm a little bit off, and you press it down and you're kind of moving it up and you're doing this, and it kind of jitters around a little bit, especially in that free drawing. Like when you're trying to draw, you could be perfectly drawing something and it'll come up really jittery on screen. So it's not really accurate. It does a pretty good job at what it does, but it's, as terms in drawing tablet, I mean, this thing is really basic kind of drawing tablet technology. It's also hard to move like a mouse. Like as you could see, I was moving it really casually across there to try and do it, and sometimes it would disappear. So it's really hard to keep that constant, to know exactly where you are in the space. So again, that's where the overlays are supposed to help, but just tracking itself, you have to find that ideal pressure. So it's really hard to get that pressure. And the overlays, even though they're supposed to make it easier, they kind of make it harder. At least I find it makes it harder to draw or navigate, as they are plastic and they're either too smooth, or after a good couple of uses they get too scratched, or they get kind of gouged out. That makes them impossible to use altogether. And I'll show you a good example of that. The one I've got here, when I got this was actually fairly gouged out already. I don't know if you can see it there, but just there, it's all crinkled there. And that's not from bending it or anything, that's actually from the pen, from this pen actually going in there too hard and actually like making a gouge mark. So if you try to use this and you go into that same groove, you kind of get stuck in that groove, and it's very hard to get out. And you can see this thing is absolutely covered in scratches all over the place, and it's kinked there and over there, and so it's kinked in quite a few places and sort of gouged out a little bit down here. So this thing is very hard to actually use when you're actually in the game, and that's why when you saw that gameplay, I just used the grid instead of actually using that overlays instead. So when the overlays get to that point where they scratch or gouge out, they're just impossible to use. But I guess, you know, this is focused at young children, and young children wouldn't have noticed that type of thing. They would have just had fun with it, you know. They would have hooked it up to their console and just started playing, colouring or drawing or whatever. So they probably wouldn't noticed, and I mean, they probably would just gouge it out and not even really care about it. The box does say it's for ages 3 to 8, so it's aimed at a pretty young audience. So, overall, for a PS1 controller designed for kids, it works pretty well. Now, the collector's value on this thing is pretty hard, because this is very rare. You don't find them often, you don't see them often. You see the games all the time, so you don't see the tablet that much, or the tablet set. And that is the same for the games with the overlays. So these types of games, especially these games like I showed earlier, they come in these big boxes that include those overlays. It's very easy to find the Kid Station games on their own, but to find it in a set like this that comes with the overlays is incredibly hard. Very hard to find those overlays. Overall though, it is a very unique and interesting PS1 accessory that was only released in Japan, and I mean, as a drawing tablet for the PlayStation 1, I mean, it's different. It's not your typical controller that you normally see. So take another look around it. So you guys, that was the drawing board controller that comes in this Kids Station set. As you can see, it's pretty cool, very interesting. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. I am Sharkie Gamer, Don't forget to subscribe. I'll have heaps more gaming, controller and accessory videos up very shortly. Feel free to leave a comment down below, and if you like this video, hit that like button, really helps out a lot guys, and feel free to share and favorite as that helps spread my video around. Thanks for watching guys.